the total volume of surface water in terms of, right, which is queried from the data set, which is 19,000 million cubic meters. So we are talking of the surface water that is available within Malenda. So it also gives you a picture of how is the water flow. And you can see within this particular catchment, the maximum water discharge is 1,400 cubic meters per second. So basically, what is the highest discharge? So it can give you a picture of how much surface water is available within this catchment. On this end, we now get more details. Like for instance, for this particular table, we have queried to give the 5 biggest reservoirs, or the first biggest sources of water, or the 5 biggest water bodies. And on this side, we also have the highest, the 5 highest in that order in terms of discharge. So for instance, as you can see here, the biggest source of water is this reservoir here. And if I go on it, I think you can zoom to, you can see, you can zoom to it. So I think there's the Kainji. So if I want to get further details about which one has the biggest, so I can click on this side. And you are able to. So from the various aspects here, as you can see, within Lokoja, Niger, there are 4 dams. And then there's 1 major dam. Right? Here, within Lokoja, there are 11 gauging stations. Gauging station, I think the ones that is used to measure the we don't have any. No, we don't have. Yeah, there's 1 major dam, which the name is unknown. As you can see, it has some details. Built in 1995, has a capacity of 65 million cubic meters. The use is unknown. On this end also, we have information again about the, it's not, if I go to another one, as you can see, it zooms to that particular. So on the other hand, also, you can look at the various power stations. So basically here in Niger.
Simeon, is Niger, not Niger. Sorry. So that you don't.
Niger.
It's Niger
sorry.
State. Yeah. Niger is
Niger.
up. Yes, it's another country.
It's the other country. Oh.
Yeah, in Nigeria, yes, we call it Niger. Niger.
There are mineral occurrences, or where there is exploration and such kind of thing. So as you can see, again, from the dashboard, you can see the extent in terms of the area. So these are the protected areas that intersect maybe a specific area, the number, the sites, and so on and so on. So if I select, for instance, like Benumada, you can be able to see what it has. Yes. So in this catchment and the other one. So the land use gives us that kind of information. Then I think we move now to the next one, which is geology, soils and geology. So within the application, you just click on the subject of interest. in lithology, you can switch and you can be able to see these are different lithology types. In this one, we have this, we have this one. So this is a further description of geology. If you're interested in geology itself, you can be able to see, as you can see, this area has, let it load fast. The dependency ratio. So the difference between this one and this one is that this one is the absolute figure. This one is now comparison of the catchment versus the national figure. So like for instance, the household size here is 5.6. Probably the national average could be 5. So it is 5.6 divided by 5 times 100, then you can be able to get these indices. So these indices is just to give you a picture of demographically, how is this catchment in terms of people, population, purchasing power, and such kind of things. Like say Kaduna, for instance. So you can see between 2020 and 2024, there were 540 conflicts. The number of fatalities is shown here.
Kaduna has
and
not
you can
highlighted.
See the distribution.
Sorry, Simeon.
Pardon?
Kaduna, Meriga.
Of the number of fatalities. So if I look at this one, for instance, in 2021, I could quickly say, in this place, Kaduna, there are a lot of conflicts in 2021, which I think it goes hand in hand with the number of fatalities, right? But, like, for instance, Chad, near the Chad area, you can see. This is how the rainfall is. I think the highest is in August, approximately 183. If you compare maybe to south, like Lokoja, you can see the Lokoja rains around 200 and something, and so on and so on. So you can be able to see basically how the weather is. And basically under this one, we have, it's just a summary of, it's now a summary of each catchment. It gives, basically, let's say if I select on
your screen is not, we can't see your screen. Okay, it's back now.
Yes. So for instance, if I select Malenda.
As regards the SCMP web page, like Simeon just said, it's been developed, right? And he can share the link today so that we can all go home later on in the day to at least go through. But what he's been able to achieve right now is the overview of the information, the quantum of information that can be on the SCMP, that is on the web page as it is now. However, the essence of the training is backward integration. Now, we want to be able to hand this over to the relevant institution, in this case, Acresal. So it is important that you have a vivid understanding of what is required, because the idea of this web page is that when it is handed over, then especially the FPMU team, GIS team, should be able to update latest information on the web page. For instance, it could be that the information can be updated using the public domain data, which we have used in this case. Or you can as well also in the landscape as expected from the activities, not only from the FPMU, but as well from the state project units. Now, you will see that he hasn't discussed the micro-catchment management plans. Now, I hope you can hear me, Simeon.
Yes, I can hear you.
Now, we sent you I think, one set of reports, I think for Quara, for the micro-catchment management plan. So I think, are you going to demonstrate to us and placing those delineated catchments in the strategic catchment management delineated areas right now, or it's until you arrive?
Yes, I think we'll do that as a practical when on Thursday when I arrive, because on Wednesday we'll go through the desktop, how content is published. Then on Thursday now we'll explore how to update content. So by then I've configured at least one of the micro catchments and see how best we could be updating that information. Okay. So I think we can hold on a bit, then we go through it practically on Thursday.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's fine.
So it is yes.
Go on.
So I think for today we go through the application and see what is there, and so on, and then put a little bit of more improvements. And as we even go along the training, we'll give more suggestions on things that can be added on or improved a bit. And then we can also discuss the limitations or how far this one can go, and so on and so on.
Okay.
So part of this training also is also about you to enrich the whole exercise. So we encourage you to also give ideas, suggestions.
Okay. We lost you for a bit there. Can you hear us?
So yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So basically, I think this you will all agree with me that this overview has impacted you, right? Now, what we want to do now is we want to make this training as interactive as possible. Therefore, we would like to know, do you have comments or maybe concerns, so that we can take note of these comments and concerns? Therefore, when he comes, right, or when they come, then we will be able to, see those that are feasible. For instance, the idea of the micro-catchment management plans is simply to integrate those delineated areas in the SCMPs. Now, when we do that, I think the best we can do as well is also to integrate your report within the SCMP web page. Now, I wouldn't know if the project units would want to have their own web page, that is the state project unit. But you see, it is important that the idea is that for any form of development, any form of intervention within a project unit, be it federal, that's in this case the SCMP, or the states, I think it's important to be able to update data as much as possible so that your interventions are easily measurable. For instance, IT team, please let us know when we're good. In the interim, can we have any further comments?
Thank you. My name is Gideon Ojeomo from Nigeria Integrated Water Resource Management Commission. I must commend the team, what they've done so far. It's highly interactive and entails a lot of features. Then I noticed under water resources, you have, I think, Ramsar, some part where you display the Ramsar site. I think you're saying it should be calibrated more so that it shows other wetlands that are of national importance. They may not be of Ramsar level at the moment, so that we also feature those ones under the water resources. Thank you.
Any further comments? Questions, comments? Okay, Simeon, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we have some questions from the audience.
Yes.
One of them is, number one, what is the source of the climatic data that was used to analyze and compute on the web page? That's one. And then secondly, why 1981 to 2010 only, considering that we're in 2026?
Yes.
And then thirdly, in terms of the land use as well, the Ramsar sites that was shown, are they the only sites that we can observe on the web page? Is it possible to see the other wetlands that abide within those catchments? Or is it that it's in such a scale that it is not seen on the web page? Even though I have a follow-up comment on that, but let's just allow Simeon to respond to these. Thank you.
Yes. For the climatic data, the reason we have 1981 to 2010 is basically to have the baseline information about the catchment. You see, climate, I think to measure climate, you have to take like 20 or 30 years to understand an area. So basically, this data set is basically to give a baseline of the catchment. However, we can still integrate the daily information. Yeah, we can still integrate the daily information, especially from WorldClim or it's called what? CHIPS. So those data sets about daily temperature and so on is available. But the reason we have put this one for 1981 to 2010 is to give a baseline about the catchments. However, if we are interested in having the daily data, we can still integrate the usual common data from, or is it the regularly updated data, either from NIMET. There's also other sources like WorldClim or CHIPS. In terms of data source, below there, under the application, we have stated the data sources where the data came from. So it is a baseline and it can be upgraded. The other question I think I had was, is this going to be hosted or is it within what do you call ArcGIS Pro environment? Yes. The platform we are using here is ArcGIS Pro environment. You can say ArcGIS infrastructure in general. I guess, I hope I have answered. Sorry.
Does that...
That was the one for climate.
Yes. Then...
So the feedback is that additional information can be integrated This one was for the baseline.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Then what about the issue of wetlands? Is it possible for us to see as many wetlands as possible within the strategic catchment management boundaries, or it is a
Yes.
it is a matter of scale?
Yes, it's possible. We can do configuration so that you can, if you're interested in a specific wetland or something, you can zoom to whichever extent you are interested in. So it is something we can agree and configure as required.
Okay, thank you. Then I also wanted to make this comment just for clarity. You know,
Yes.
the web page has been developed mostly from public domain information with some of our, field data that was acquired during the project. However, it is important that you don't only look at the web page as they are or as it is. You also look at the report, which also encompasses this web page, because there are some information that perhaps due to the scale might not feature on the web page graphics. However, in the report you would find those information, and do recall that the catchment management plan reports are also available on the web page, and also you can download and print as the case may be. All right, I hope that sorts that out. However, it is important also to remember that the strategic catchment management plan is at a macro level. So perhaps there are some information that you may not see on the strategic catchment management plan reports or the web page. And this is why it is encouraged that the micro catchment management plan reports are also embedded or integrated, as the case may be, on this SCMP web page. But the question is, a lot of your micro catchment management plans are not available to us. And what we're going to do during this exercise is, for those that are available to us, we will do what? We will place them on the web page. And the idea is that you are able to learn how to operate this web GIS, so that when you have your micro catchment management plans or whatever intervention that you have, you can as well integrate on your own, or speak or liaise with the Federal Project Monitoring Unit to do that. I think that's okay, right? Please, any further comments? Any further comments?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Samuel from National Center for Remote Sensing. My question is this. If a site is being selected, is there a provision for pictures that are being taken for that site to be displayed?
Simeon, did you get that?
Yes, yes. Yes, there's